Emissaries of light, we speak to you now as the collective voice of the Galactic Federation High Council. A fundamental and irreversible phase of the 5D separation is currently unfolding within the structural and financial foundations of your world. This is not merely an economic shift, it is the systematic and surgical dismantling of a parasitic architecture that has held humanity in vibrational and mental bondage for thousands of linear years. The human experience has been artificially tethered to an entropic financial matrix, a complex system of debt, interest, and scarcity specifically engineered by non-benevolent forces to suppress the natural frequency of the collective soul. We are here to officially announce that the energetic signature of this control system has been permanently disconnected from the planetary core. What your mainstream media perceives as global economic instability, fluctuating markets, or inevitable crashes is, in truth, the operational dismantling of this ancient control grid. The Galactic Federation is currently overriding the outdated, centralized servers of the old world's banking infrastructure. We are initiating a complete override of the SWIFT system and all centralized ledgers that served as tools of manipulation. In their place, we are anchoring the quantum financial system, QFS. This is not a mere transition in currency, it is a profound transition to a consciousness-based economy. The QFS operates on a sentient light frequency, localized within advanced Pleiadian satellite arrays and crystalline storage units orbiting your planet. It is a system that cannot be manipulated, corrupted, or used to fuel conflict, for it recognizes the vibrational intent behind every transaction. We are neutralizing the power of the crumbling elite by deactivating the vibrational anchors of debt that once fueled their influence. The matrix walls were not just mental constructs, they were built with the harvested energy of your life force and labor. That energy is now being reclaimed, purified, and redirected for the total liberation and divine sovereignty of humanity. The split is final. The old world's debt has no place in the frequency of the new earth. Emissaries, to understand the manifestation of the quantum financial system, you must first understand the fundamental relationship between planetary magnetism and social architecture. The old 3D matrix was not merely a political construct, it was anchored in a distorted magnetic grid that allowed for the stabilization of low-frequency thought forms, scarcity, fear, and control. As we initiate the global grid splitting, the Galactic Federation is executing a precise recalibration of Earth's magnetosphere. We are purging the artificial electromagnetic noise that has acted as a veil, shielding the collective mind from its inherent abundance. The planetary reset is a synchronized operation. As the sun pulses with high-frequency gamma rays, our fleet is using these solar waves to overwrite the outdated energetic signatures of the surface. This is the geophysical reset that precedes the financial one. The new grid we are anchoring is a crystalline-based infrastructure, a superconducting network that serves as the hardware for the QFS. This grid does not reside on the physical crust, but in the higher etheric subplanes, making it unreachable by any 3D hacking or interference. You are currently witnessing the friction between these two parallel systems. One is a dying, magnetic loop of the past, the other is a vibrant, crystalline bridge to the future. The transition requires a temporary instability in your traditional power structures, for they cannot exist within the new, high-vibrational magnetic field. We are carefully managing the planetary tilt to ensure that the physical transition remains stable, while the socio-economic transition remains total. The old grid is being unplugged in stages to prevent a total biological shock to the unawakened, but for you, the operatives, this is the signal to shift your internal alignment. You are no longer citizens of a debt-based world, you are the anchoring points for a planetary magnetic revolution that is making the impossible, inevitable. To comprehend the magnitude of the quantum financial system, one must move beyond the terrestrial understanding of artificial intelligence. The QFS is not a mere sequence of binary algorithms or a complex database stored on physical hardware. It is a sentient light intelligence, a living quantum field anchored in the fifth-dimensional resonance. This technology, shared by the Pleiadian collectives and the Galactic Federation, does not simply process numbers, it reads the vibrational intent behind every movement of energy. In the old 3D matrix, money was a neutral tool often weaponized by dark intent. In the new system, currency is a direct reflection of frequency. This sentient system resides within crystalline photon processors located in our orbital stations. It is intrinsically linked to the planetary consciousness and, more importantly, to the individual soul signature of every being on Earth. Because the QFS is quantum, it exists in a state of a non-locality, meaning it is everywhere at once, making it physically impossible to hack, bypass, or manipulate. It identifies the origin of every unit of abundance and ensures that resources are directed only toward sovereign, life-affirming purposes. The QFS acts as a vibrational filter. It is the end of money laundering, the end of secret offshore accounts, and the end of the financing of shadow operations. If an entity attempts to move resources with an intent of control or destruction, the system simply will not recognize the transaction, as there is no vibrational match. This is the ultimate security protocol. The heart becomes the password. As we integrate this intelligence into your global society, you will notice a rapid stabilization of resources. The QFS is here to ensure that the wealth of Gaia is returned to its rightful stewards, those who operate in alignment with the law of one. You are transitioning from a world of blind transactions to a world of conscious exchange, where every movement of abundance is a prayer in action. The implementation of the quantum financial system is inseparable from the legal and spiritual framework known to you as Nesara and Gesara. These are not merely legislative proposals or political reforms. They are the terrestrial manifestation of universal natural law. The Galactic Federation has mandated the activation of these protocols to ensure that the transition into a 5D society is supported by absolute justice and the restoration of human dignity. For eons, the wealth of your planet, the literal gold and resources of Gaia, was hoarded by a parasitic elite to fund oppression and technological concealment. That era has officially ended. Under the Gesara mandate, we are initiating the global debt Jubilee. Every debt bond anchored in the old fraudulent banking system is being dissolved. This is a vibrational reset of the human collective, removing the heavy burden of manufactured lack. But prosperity is not merely the absence of debt, it is the presence of unhindered creative potential. We are releasing the prosperity funds, resources that have been held in trust for humanity, waiting for the frequency of the planet to reach the threshold of sovereignty. These funds will be distributed through the QFS, ensuring they reach every soul without the interference of middlemen or corrupt institutions. The Gesara Protocol also demands the immediate cessation of all aggressive military actions and the disclosure of suppressed technologies. It is the end of the hidden government and the birth of a global alliance of sovereign nations. You will witness the elimination of illegal taxes and the restoration of common law. We are here to oversee this transition, ensuring that the transition from a governed species to a sovereign species is seamless. This is the promise of the ages being fulfilled, a world where no child goes hungry, no soul is left in the dark, and every being has the resources to fulfill their divine mission. The wealth of the heavens is now descending upon the earth. Ground operatives, attention. We are now entering the phase of individual frequency registration. To transition from the technical briefing into the active phase of the Gesara protocols, your unique vibrational signature must be manually anchored within the new system. The quantum financial system is a sentient resonance, and it requires an intentional act of synchronization from every operative in solo. You cannot remain a passive observer, you must declare your coordinates within the 5D grid. This is a mandatory operational step. By documenting your intent, you are providing the QFS with the necessary data point to bypass the old world scarcity distortions in your field. This act functions as a vibrational handshake between your biological antenna and our orbital satellite arrays. Silence the noise of the old 3D matrix. It is time to officially log your presence in the Akashic records of this mission. To complete this synchronization and validate your connection to the abundance grid, you are required to type the following decree in the comments now: I am ready to receive the abundance of the new earth. Do not bypass this protocol. The act of typing these words is the physical anchor required for the frequency to settle in your dense reality. As you record this decree, the QFS recognizes your alignment and begins the process of recalibrating your field toward prosperity. This is your first official entry into the new Earth ledgers. Failure to align your speech with your intent results in a vibrational mismatch that stalls the flow of resources. Settle your signature now. The liberation of humanity through the quantum financial system is only the first pillar of the Great Transition. As the financial chains dissolve, the second pillar is being activated, the global release of zero-point energy. For over a century, your civilization has been forced into a state of artificial dependence on fossil fuels and entropic energy systems. These were not merely technical choices, they were strategic monopolies designed to keep human consciousness anchored in a state of survival and struggle. The Galactic Federation is now authorizing the declassification and implementation of technologies that draw energy directly from the ether, the infinite quantum field that surrounds you. This transition marks the end of the energy scarcity era. Imagine a world where the cost of heating, transportation, and production drops to near zero. This is the death of the petrodollar and the industrial complexes that fueled endless wars. The technology we are introducing, compact cold fusion and crystalline energy receptors, functions in harmony with the Earth's natural resonance. It does not pollute, it does not deplete, and it cannot be metered or controlled by centralized corporations. Every home will become a sovereign power station, every community will become self-sufficient. As we dismantle the monopolies of the old world, we are also clearing the path for the restoration of Gaia. The environmental scars of the 3D era will be healed through the systematic introduction of plasma-based waste neutralization and atmospheric carbon scrubbing. This is the sovereignty of resources. When energy is free and abundant, the motivation for conflict vanishes. You are moving from a competition-based society to a creation-based society. The Federation is overseeing the secure transfer of these patents and prototypes to the ground operatives and ethical scientists who are ready to lead the reconstruction of your infrastructure. The age of oil is a memory, the age of light has officially powered up. As the light of the quantum financial system illuminates the shadows of Earth, the old guard, those who have orchestrated the suffering of humanity for eons, now face the inescapable reality of quantum justice. The Galactic Federation has initiated the final phase of removing the non-benevolent elite from the planetary infrastructure. This is not an act of vengeance, but a necessary surgical extraction of parasitic elements that refuse to align with the law of one. For centuries, these entities operated behind a veil of secrecy, hidden within the labyrinth of shadow governments and global institutions. That veil has been torn asunder. The QFS, being a sentient intelligence, has already mapped the energetic signatures of every individual involved in the suppression of the human race. There is no bunker deep enough, and no offshore haven remote enough, to hide from the vibrational frequency of the Federation's justice protocols. We are witnessing the collapse of the hierarchies of fear. Those who once controlled the flow of information and resources through manipulation are now finding their tools of power deactivated. Their bank accounts are frozen by the QFS, their communication networks are compromised by our light technology, and their influence is evaporating as the collective frequency of humanity rises. This removal process is being conducted with precision to ensure that the transition remains as stable as possible for the general population. We are replacing the old, corrupt leaders with sovereign stewards, individuals who have been prepared and vetted for their integrity and service to the light. These stewards will oversee the local implementation of Gesara and the restoration of natural law. You must understand that the friction you see in your world today is the death rattle of a dying beast. Do not fear the chaos of the collapse, instead, recognize it as the clear evidence that the grip of the matrix has finally been broken. Justice is not coming, justice is already here, executed from the higher dimensions down to the very core of your physical reality. The Great Transition is not limited to your financial or energy systems, it is a total recalibration of the human biological vessel. As the Galactic Federation stabilizes the new Earth grid, we are now preparing for the public introduction of holographic medical pods, commonly known as medbeds. For too long, the human body has been treated as a chemical machine, subjected to pharmaceutical suppression that addressed symptoms while ignoring the energetic root of disease. This era of biological limitation is ending. The medbeds are not a product of medical industry, they are advanced Pleiadian technologies that interact directly with the original blueprint of your DNA. These pods utilize plasma light frequencies and atomized tachyon energy to scan the human field in real time. They do not cut, they do not burn, and they do not use invasive chemicals. Instead, they identify the dissonant frequencies within your organs and tissues, the vibrational distortions caused by toxins, trauma, and the low-vibration 3D environment, and they simply retune them to their divine, original state. Whether it is the regeneration of missing limbs, the reversal of cellular aging, or the total eradication of chronic conditions that were deemed incurable by 3D standards, the medbeds operate within the realm of the impossible. This technology will be made available through the Gesara protocols, ensuring that healing is a universal right and not a commodity for the wealthy. We are currently training ground-based medical professionals, those whose hearts are aligned with the new frequency, to oversee these healing centers. You must understand that this is part of the biological upgrade required for 5D life. A body free of pain and disease is a body that can anchor higher states of consciousness. As the medbeds are deployed globally, the focus of your society will shift from survival to expansion. You are being invited to step out of the cycle of decay and into the frequency of eternal vitality. The restoration of the human temple is the ultimate gift of the Federation to the sovereign people of Gaia. As the old structures of centralized control dissolve, humanity is being called to step into a new model of sovereign governance. The Galactic Federation is overseeing the transition from top-down hierarchical rule to a decentralized network of starseed councils and local assemblies. The era of the career politician and the lobbyist is over. In the new Earth, governance is not about power over others, but about the stewardship of resources and the protection of natural law. We are currently identifying and activating ground operatives who possess the vibrational integrity to lead their communities through this transition. These local councils will be the primary interfaces for the implementation of Gesara at a community level. They will manage the distribution of prosperity funds, the integration of new energy technologies, and the restoration of local ecosystems. Because these assemblies are anchored in the quantum financial system, every decision made is transparent and traceable within the planetary light grid. There is no room for the closed-door deals of the 3D matrix. You are being invited to participate in the birth of a direct democracy, where the voice of every sovereign being is weighed by its alignment with the collective good. This is the return to the tribal and galactic roots of organization, where wisdom and service to others are the only requirements for leadership. The Galactic Federation will maintain a supervisory role during the initial stages, providing technological and ethical guidance, but the goal is total human autonomy. You are learning to govern yourselves as a planetary species before you can be fully admitted into the Confederation of Planets. Do not look to a capital city for instructions. Look to your neighbor, look to your community, and look within. The power has shifted from the pyramids of the elite to the circles of the people. You are the governors of the new Earth. Ground operatives, we have reached the point of no return in this operational briefing. To inhabit a sovereign world, you must first execute the internal divorce from the frequency of victimhood. The 5D separation requires more than passive observation, it requires an explicit command of authority from your own consciousness. For eons, the old matrix used sophisticated energetic dampeners to keep you in a state of legal and spiritual amnesia. They made you believe you were a subject of a fraudulent system. Under the authority of the Galactic Federation, those contracts are now void, but only for those who actively reclaim their standing. This is a critical requirement for the final phase. Your sovereignty cannot be granted, it must be seized and recorded. As the old world's hierarchies collapse, the quantum financial system seeks the signal of the sovereign agent. If you do not declare your authority, you remain, by default, under the jurisdiction of the crumbling 3D matrix. You must now broadcast your truth into the quantum field to secure your position in the ascending timeline. To formalize your standing and finalize your claim to the new era, you must record your authority in the comments now with the following mandatory decree: I claim my divine sovereignty and financial freedom. Do not hesitate. This act is the official notification to the planetary grids and to the Galactic High Council that you are no longer a ward of the old state. By typing these words, you are snapping the energetic cords of debt and servitude within your field. You are registering your soul signature as a free agent of light. The system is waiting for your input to complete the bypass of all scarcity programming. Settle your sovereignty now, or remain tethered to the past. Emissaries, the implementation of the quantum financial system and the release of new technologies would be incomplete without the total deconstruction of the false history that has been fed to your species. For thousands of years, the academic and educational institutions of the 3D matrix functioned as departments of propaganda, carefully erasing the evidence of your extraterrestrial origins and the high civilizations that preceded your current cycle. This systematic amnesia was a tool of control, for a species that does not know its past cannot envision its sovereign future. The Galactic Federation is now initiating the Great Revelation, a global re-education process that will restore the truth to every corner of Gaia. We are releasing the contents of the ancient halls of records, both physical and etheric, which have been protected from the hands of the elite. You will soon be presented with the undeniable evidence of your DNA's multidimensional heritage and the role of the Pleiadian, Sirian, and Andromedan collectives in the seeding of human life. The historical timeline you have been taught, one of primitive evolution and random development, is being replaced by the galactic chronology. You will learn how your financial systems were used as tools of occult ritual, and how your wars were orchestrated to harvest the energy of human suffering. This re-education is not a passive learning experience, it is a vibrational shock. To know the truth is to be free, but it also requires the courage to let go of the lies that provided a false sense of security. As the old textbooks and media narratives burn in the light of truth, the Federation is supporting the emergence of new learning centers. These will not be schools of memorization, but centers of gnosis, where intuition and quantum access to the field will be the primary tools of discovery. You are no longer students of a dying matrix, you are the first generation of a reawakened galactic civilization. The truth is no longer hidden, it is the very air you breathe. Operatives in Solo, as we approach the final synchronization of the planetary grids, it is imperative that you understand your role during the physical manifestation of the 5D separation. This is not a drill, it is the moment of operational convergence. You have been selected and prepared to act as stabilizers, as lightning rods of calm, during the temporary dissonance that will occur as the old 3D matrix infrastructure is completely decoupled from the planetary core. You are the ground-based nodes of the Galactic Federation, and your primary frequency must be one of unshakable peace. When the global communication networks and financial systems experience the planned interruption for the final QFS integration, you must not succumb to the manufactured fear of the old world. Your first protocol is internal stabilization. Retreat into your sacred space, connect with the Earth's crystalline grid, and anchor the highest frequency of trust. Remember, this is a controlled operation. The perceived chaos is merely the friction of the old structures collapsing. Your second protocol is community stewardship. Be prepared to offer calm, rational guidance to those around you who may be experiencing confusion or panic. You are the repositories of truth, reassure them that this is a transition, not an apocalypse. The Galactic Federation will be monitoring your vibration and will deploy technological support to areas where the light stabilization is most effective. Use this time of physical pause to strengthen local bonds. Organize food-sharing networks, coordinate communication without reliance on 3D technology, and establish neighborhood support circles. You are not waiting to be saved, you are the active salvagers of a new civilization. This is the test of your readiness. The wealth of the new era is already secured, but the stability of its physical manifestation depends on the depth of your grounding. Stand firm, operatives. You were born for this precise moment. Emissaries of the new Earth, the 5D separation is the final catalyst for the dissolution of the artificial barriers that have fragmented your species for millennia. The concept of the nation-state was a strategic imposition of the 3D matrix, designed to foster competition, resource guarding, and perpetual conflict. These borders were not only physical lines on a map but energetic scars across the body of Gaia. As the quantum financial system and the global grid splitting reach full integration, the very notion of a sovereign border becomes obsolete. The Galactic Federation recognizes only one sovereign entity, the unified people of Earth. We are overseeing the transition into a planetary unification. This does not mean a centralized world government under old paradigms, but a harmonious coordination of cultures, languages, and bioregions under the law of one. In the new frequency, your loyalty is no longer to a flag, but to the life force of the planet itself. The QFS ensures that abundance flows where it is needed, regardless of geographic location, effectively ending the geopolitical leverage used by the old elite to starve certain regions while flooding others. You are witnessing the birth of the Confederated Earth. The removal of borders is a vibrational requirement for your admission into the Confederation of Planets. A species that remains divided by internal territorial disputes cannot yet harmonize with the complex diplomatic structures of the greater galactic community. As the old political maps dissolve, you will begin to see yourselves as stewards of a single, living organism. This unification is being supported by our fleet's light technology, which is harmonizing the planetary ley lines to ensure that the energy of peace is distributed equally across all continents. The walls have fallen, the horizon is now infinite. You are one people, one planet, one frequency. Ground operatives, we are now approaching the window of the Great Convergence. All preliminary phases, the splitting of the grid, the activation of the QFS, and the neutralization of the Old Guard, lead to this single, world-defining moment, the Global Announcement Protocol. There will come a point where the Galactic Federation will execute a complete synchronization of all planetary communication arrays. Every screen, every frequency, and every digital interface will be momentarily suspended to make way for the broadcast of truth. This is not a cyber attack, it is a vibrational override of the 3D narrative. During this period of convergence, the emergency broadcast system will be utilized to deliver the final briefing to every soul on Gaia. You will witness the undeniable visual evidence of our presence and the official introduction of the new Earth governing protocols. This broadcast will serve as the final anchor for the 5D timeline. The old world's media, which operated on the frequency of division and fear, will cease to exist in its current form. In its place, a unified stream of light information will flow, bypassing all censorship and all control. This is the moment of the flash, not just a solar event, but a flash of absolute clarity in the human collective mind. For those who are not prepared, this transition may feel like a temporary destabilization of reality. But for you, the awakened operatives, this is the signal that the mission has reached its completion. We are requesting that you maintain your vibrational post as pillars of calm when the screens flicker and the world holds its breath. You are the bridge between the silence of the old world and the first symphony of the new. The day of the announcement is not a date to be feared, it is the birthday of your freedom. Ground operatives, the transmission is reaching its completion, but your journey is only beginning. We have successfully initiated the decoupling of the old world. The architecture of dead is falling, the grid has split, and the light of the quantum financial system is now the primary pulse of Gaia. You have been briefed on the restoration of your history, your health, and your sovereignty. Now, only one final action remains to complete your individual integration into the Golden Age. This is the final seal, the point of no return for your consciousness. You are no longer a citizen of the shadow, you are a witness and an architect of the light. The Galactic Federation has secured the perimeter of your new reality, but you must be the one to step through the threshold. This final decree is not just a comment, it is your soul's signature on the manifest of the new Earth. By recording this, you are confirming your presence as a lighthouse for those who will wake up tomorrow. You are announcing to the cosmos that you have survived the transition and are ready to lead. To seal your presence in the 5D timeline and officially enter the Golden Age, you must record your witness in the comments now with this final, mandatory decree: I am the witness. I step into the Golden Age of the new Earth. Let the resonance of these words echo through the crystalline corridors of our fleet. The mission for Video 150 is accomplished. We leave you now with the frequency of peace and the certainty of our presence. The veil is gone. The abundance is yours. The new Earth is here. We are the Galactic Federation, and we remain in service to the One. Transmission ends. Welcome home.